Hi, lovely ladies. It is time for our weekly video inside Milk Allergy Mom membership. I'm sitting in my car once again, getting the sun beating down on me at one of our little activities that I have to get the kids to in the evenings. It's summertime and we still have a few things we are doing regularly. So I'm just like, am I supposed to be taking the summer off? Because I'm sitting at choir right now. Girls, I'm so excited to see you. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Christy. I didn't have a glare until just now. I think the sun just got lower or something. So today I want to talk about, I posted today about my taking the boys to St. Louis on the Amtrak train. Hey, Adriana. This week, we just got home yesterday, and it was such a special adventure for us because it was the first time that I have taken the boys out of state or on a significant trip, albeit it was only 24 hours, but by myself, because I rely on my husband a lot when it comes to managing food allergies outside of our comfort zone. At home, I do a lot of it, but when we leave the house, one thing, I'm just a homebody anyway, so sorry, just like, here we go, maybe this will work. So when it comes to leaving the house for soccer or taking our vacations or whatever, I rely heavily on him. In fact, I probably make him do more of it than I should. Again, the sun is driving me nuts. 24 hours is a long time alone with children. Yeah, I thought it was quite an accomplishment. So I wanted to talk about that with you guys today, and I really was kind of in the mood to do like a Q&A kind of thing. So I put in a post earlier this morning, but I don't think many of you guys saw it, to ask who wanted to do Q&A. So I'm flexible on how we do this today. If you have questions specifically about what we did or what we ate, just pop them in here and I'll answer them for you. Otherwise, silence always makes me nervous, and so I just ramble on until I see a question. So I was just on the Milk Allergy Mom page where sometimes you guys see those things before you see here. So I wanted to get on there first and let you guys know I was coming on here. And so I went ahead and asked the big group if they've ever taken a trip that they are especially proud of accomplishing. Church bells, sorry. With food allergies. And so they're supposed to be telling me where they went, how they got there, and why they were super proud of that trip. So you can either answer over there in the page, or you can say it here too, and we can cheer for you for the big special trip that you accomplished. But this is definitely going down in my books as a great memory with me and the kids. So I actually teased, so we went to go see Emily Elizabeth, who is my chiropractor roommate from college friend, who's in this group with kiddos with their own allergies now. Her kids are a lot younger than mine, but we're finding ourselves in the same boat. I'm wondering what was in the water at college, but I think we actually operated better with kids than without, because I have trained down to her a lot, and every single time I almost missed the train back home because we are too busy shopping and having fun. And this time we were way on time for making the train. My boys and I had to actually sit in the station for an hour. So I was like, man, we're like getting really responsible. So I just wanted to talk about it because I posted it today on Instagram and Facebook and got a lot of response to it, and lots of people were proud of me. So I just wanted to talk details, because what I like this group to be is a place where you get the details and where we hop on video and talk a little bit more and talk about your experiences. Hey Sarah, good to see you. So you guys, leave me questions about this trip. If there's something that you really want to know, ask. Again, we took the train down to St. Louis, me and the boys. We had to dose for OIT one day. Oh, I'll tell you, don't let me forget, I'll tell you how we did the dose. We ate out once. Emily and I had a menu plan before we went. She sent me some pictures, some labels. She did a little grocery shopping. I did a little grocery shopping. The big thing is my kids eat a lot. And so I was just a little bit worried about keeping my boys full because Miles, literally from the last time he had an OIT dose at the allergist to today, which was also an updose day, which was also another topic we could have talked about. He grew an inch, and so I didn't want to be stuck at Emily's, which is not like around like grocery stores and stuff. She's kind of like out in the middle of sort of nowhere with no Wi-Fi, which also was interesting because it killed me not being able to check in with you guys for quite a long time. And what was I saying on that? Oh, so I really was thinking I'm going to have to keep these kids fed. And then Emily was like, my kids eat like crazy too, and they're just little kids. So Adriana says hers eat so much. Yeah, so I just kept envisioning getting there and Miles being like, I'm hungry, and me not being able to find something in the pantry. And so we came with quite a bit of food, not gonna lie. So we each on the train, and the train is very simple. I actually talked to one of our members today in private message because she moved somewhere in Illinois where there is a train station, and I'm like, the train goes from Chicago to St. Louis very, very easily, and it's very affordable, and I've always loved to do that. I used to have to train to Chicago. Springfield's right in the middle, not right in the middle, but in the middle, not time-wise, but in the middle of Chicago and St. Louis. And so I would train up to Chicago for work a lot when I worked in the U.S. Senate, and I trained to Emily a lot to St. Louis. So I've got that train thing down. So if you live anywhere on the train route from Chicago to St. Louis, you should get on the train and come to Springfield and let me pick you up and take you to meet Dr. Siri and go to my health food store and just hang out for the day. Ashley says, my 20-pound 2-year-old eats all day long. Isn't that something? They just love eating. I mean, honestly, you guys, don't we love eating too? I'm always looking for snacks as well, at least chocolate. So, Rachel, good to see you guys. So ask questions while I'm talking, because again, I'm more rambling, but I want to answer your questions about our train trip. And it was the first time I've taken the boys somewhere by myself that's significant, overnight, out of state, on another mode of transportation besides us driving. We've taken the boys on a plane once to Disney, and that was a big deal for us with anaphylactic food allergies. And so taking the train, honestly, the thought of it always intimidated me with food allergies. I love taking the train by myself, but I thought as we were on it, I thought, you know what, like we are going through so many towns, like really if something happened, this would be easier than being on a plane and having to land. I'm pretty sure these conductors would stop the train and we'd be able to get help within maybe 20-25 minutes if we were outside of a city. But anyway, I also had a rule, and you guys know I'm pretty strict on my rules about food allergies, and I was not going to let him eat on the train, and by golly darn it, I let him. We went to the train car. I was like, I'll show you around the train. I showed him how to get up to the food car. They have Hebrew National hot dogs on the Amtrak, which is a fun fact. I wasn't really keen on them cooking him one and doing that, but it's cool that they have them on there. I'm going to answer your question, Rachel. She has a question. Yay. But they did have Hebrew National hot dogs. They had Skittles. They had sodas, which my kids love. Miles loves Dr. Pepper. Graham loves root beer. And I was like, dang it. Now I'm in the cart, in the cafe car, and the dude's waiting for us to order something, and I don't need anything. So gosh darn it, you guys, I broke one of my allergy rules that I had set before we went. No eating in the train, and I let them get a soda and Skittles for a nice big sugar rush. And it turned out fine, but they were tickled pink that they got to eat on the train. And so there you have it. I broke my rule, which is a big thing I always preach. Like when you're traveling, have your rules, don't give in. I think OIT has like changed me a lot. So anyway, let me know. What would you do if you were on the train and you swore you would not have snacks? You already prepped your kids. It's just a 2-hour train ride. We are not going to eat just to be extra safe. And then you take them to the train car and you see things that they've had over and over and it looks safe. What would you do? I would love to know if I made a bad decision. So, one of you guys asked, is it easier than driving? And the answer to that is yes. But a big part of it is my friend Emily is like a St. Louis native, and she's awesome at the traffic. She's always there at the train station to pick us up, take us where we need to go, and get us back to the train when we have to go home. And so I don't have to do anything. Riding the train is definitely so easy. You just take a bag each, and plus your purse or the book bags, backpacks that my kids carry with their epi didn't count. So we had one food bag that was a 31 bag with tons of food in it. Then I had a little cooler inside of that, a little soft cooler with just the hot dogs. One of Miles's Cavitas, which a lot of you guys know is the drink that Miles likes when he feels like a little allergic reaction in his throat, and I really wanted to have one of those on hand in case he was not feeling good for any reason. The hot dogs, the Cavita, and Enjoy Life chocolate chips that I didn't want to melt. So those were in the little cooler, and we all had our bags. And the Springfield train station's really easy. It's really small. You literally open the doors of the train station and there the train is. So we just got on the train, put our bags by us. The boys were really excited. There were no seat belts, which is interesting. And they each picked a window seat. We took up, there's 2 on this side and 2 on this side, so they each took a window, and we just took up the whole row. And yeah, there is plug-ins, so they had their devices plugged in, and Graham watched a movie, and I did some work here, and Miles played his little video game on his phone. And yes, it is so, so easy. They just scanned my ticket on my phone after you're on the train, and they let you know when they're getting into the city that you're going to, and you just get off. It's so easy, you guys. So easy, like way easier. At least this route is so much easier than a plane, but there's also like none of that security checks kind of stuff. Miles was like, can I have this and this? And I was like, buddy, there's no security check, which may be scary, but it's just really laid back and old school. So yes, it's definitely easier than driving, because I don't love driving, and I don't love driving big cities. I'm a bad driver, and so I love just hopping on the train and it taking us where we're supposed to go. All right. Adriana said, I saw you guys carry their own meds. At what age did you start doing that? I'd be scared about forgetting bags. Forgotten bags, stuff falling out when they get stuff out. Yeah. So the boys, Miles has carried his epi. It's so funny because we literally call it an epi bag. And he has carried an epi since he was 7. And I think we have a blog post about that, about self-carry for kids. And I always keep a set in my purse, and we homeschool and stuff, so my kids are always with me. But we really wanted him to have that responsibility and just start learning it. And it's so habit for him now. It took like a year or so, but super habit. He always has that little red backpack. He started with a side pouch. Some of you guys have been around for a while remember the little camo side crossbody thing that he carried that we bought at like Walmart or on Amazon, and did that forever. And then when I saw those little mini European backpacking outdoor bags, I got him to let him pick a color. He wanted red, which is great because I think that's a perfect color to not lose it. And he has it stuffed full of stuff. In fact, it's not in the car. He's in music and he just takes it in with him. So I didn't expect it would be back here. Has lots of entertainment in there besides his epi. And he has Benadryl, liquid Benadryl, inhaler. So just recently, like in this last year, I realized I kept touting these bags. Like, you guys, these are $7. We've given some away. They have a teal color one. And in the middle of all that, I thought, you know what? I think Graham would love one of these. I think they're super cool. They're kind of like, they're mini, they're an outdoorsy kind of thing. So I asked Graham if he wanted one, and you guys, there's a video in our new Facebook page called Allergy Mom Products where Graham opens it and he doesn't know what it's going to be. And you guys, I was like, it's not that exciting, Graham. You know, I know you have a package, but he absolutely loved it. He was so happy. He got his own. And the funny thing is, we called it an epi bag because that's just what we've always called it. He has his inhaler in there. And Sarah got the teal one. That's awesome. The teal one is so cool. Ashley remembers our camo bags. See, we've talked about our bags. Rachel thinks that they would go for it. Taking the train, Rachel, are you talking about? And where does your train go to? Because I know there's a few different routes. Supposedly, well, there is a train route that goes all the way from Chicago to Texas. But it's a double decker and it's like an overnight thing, which would be super, super fun. But I would totally do that with Jeff. And it's one of those things that it doesn't run on time. So when I just want to do anything Chicago to St. Louis, don't do it if it's the train that goes all the way to Texas, because it is never on the right time. So as far as stuff falling out, I mean, we just checked our spots before we left, before we got off the train. In fact, Miles did realize he left his water bottle, his nice water bottle, not a plastic one. And he went back and got it. A train is not full of people, so there's not people all around you. You can get up, you can move, there's bathrooms. My kids loved using the bathrooms on the train. Must be a boy thing, but just super relaxing. And I took Jeff on the train when we went to Spokane, invited us to the peanut documentary, the allergy documentary in Chicago. And I was like, I do the train all the time. I used to do it with work and my girlfriends. And Jeff was amazed at how easy it was to go from Springfield to Chicago, because we took the train and then we Ubered around, which was not an option when I had my career in Chicago. I used to just walk or take a taxi, but Jeff was very pleasantly surprised. Like, this is so easy. This is so much better than driving. Just like leg space and convenience. And so he was a big fan too. So we got to get Jeff back on the train. All right. Any more questions, girls? I see lots of you guys on. Adriana brought one of the bags for herself. Do you like it? I want to know what color you got. I actually was thinking I wanted one. When I saw the boys walking around the zoo, I was like, I think I want one. What color would I pick? And so they are for adults, but they're like so many that they do fit on the kids really well. I wanted to put them on Emily's little ones and just see how they fit. Because I thought that would be good to know for everybody. What? To Texas? Shut up. Yes, Ashley. It's the Texas Eagle. It goes from Chicago to Texas. Pretty cool, huh? I've never taken it. But they have sleeper cars. It's a double-decker. Super cool. There goes the bells again. Good to know. I want to go from here to Chicago. Rachel, you don't have to say where you are, but yeah, that would be, I'm curious where you would go from. Everyone gets on the one to Texas. Everyone get on the one to Texas and come see me. That would be really cool, Ashley. I may be going down. I didn't go down for my sister's stuff last week, but I want to go down on my own schedule and do that sometime. So if I go to Texas, I'll let you guys know. Teal, awesome to throw stuff in for taking to the park. Awesome, awesome. And doesn't it, Adriana, kind of seem like it's insulated? It's not, but it's just nice and padded. So I like that. Hello from Kansas City. Oh yeah, the train does stop in. Yes, Emily just told me that there is a was it the River Runner that that's Kansas City to St. Louis, I think. So yeah, super fun. Loved the train. Do you guys want to know what food we packed? Because so here's the thing about the binder. Like literally, Miles was like, can we go again tomorrow? Oh, and the train, how much it costs? Like sometimes I can go to St. Louis and back round trip for like $27 or something. And I got a discount for one kid with an adult. So Graham's was discounted. I think his was like $8 round trip, you guys, like crazy. But Miles and I had to pay adult prices, and they were a little more this time. So I think our total was $85 for all three of us round trip from Springfield to St. Louis. And it was a 2-hour train down and a 2-hour train back. Ashley, that's cool. I will totally let you know if I come down there. So some other things I thought you might be interested in, the meal that we planned. And I also want to make a sheet for my binder, and it can just be written out on notebook paper. Maybe I'll type it. Okay, I'll probably type it. But I told Emily I need to make a master plan now, so that when me and the boys get a hankering to go visit Emily on the train in St. Louis, that we will just have our list. I said the kids can eat the same thing every time, because we're not going to come like every week. Maybe this summer I thought we could go like once a month or something. We'll see. I'm feeling really ambitious, and my kids had so much fun getting away. I was a fun mom, so it was really, really cool. So I'm going to make a little list. And so here's what we did. We had, we got on the train right after lunch. So Miles had his lunch here. We got there for dinner time. Emily grilled hamburgers, and Miles loves hot dogs. So I brought the Hebrew National hot dogs, and he had hot dogs. I also brought him a can of cream corn. I asked him what a fun dinner would be. The kid loves stinking cream corn. I didn't want to make Emily go to the grocery store, so I grabbed one out of our pantry, put it on our rolling bag. So here's another thing. Sometimes trains can be a little hectic if you're carrying a bag and they're heavy. Just getting on the train and getting off, it's like totally good to have something rolling. So we had one big food bag that was a carry 31, two of them actually. I had the smaller, Miles had the bigger. Graham, we gave him the rolling suitcase. So I could put the heavy things like canned corn in the rolling suitcase, because those bags can get really heavy if you're throwing cans of food in them. So anything that was super heavy, we put in the rolling one so Graham could just roll it. So cream corn, hot dogs. She had a bag of chips. She had like fresh vegetables and things that Miles just didn't eat. I was like, she cut them before we got there. So I was like, he'll just be happy with this cream corn. We brought ingredients to have s'mores. So I packed Enjoy Life chocolate chips and the really yummy marshmallows. What are they called? Dandies. And her son is gluten-free. So we brought the Enjoy Life graham cookies to count as graham crackers, so that they would be gluten-free s'mores. And we were going to do, here was my plan. We are starting, hey Hope, good to see you. If you guys have any questions about our train ride, let me know so I can answer you specifically. And Adriana, I don't know if I totally answered you. Let me get back to s'mores in a second. But having their own little bags was great. They loved having their cords in those. It's like them having their own purses. Their cords for the electronics. And again, they have plug-ins on the train, so they could plug in and nothing would die. And it wasn't bad. We just made sure we had everything and put them all back in their little bags before we left. So we had 3 little bag purses and 3 big bags, 1 each. Did you melt the chocolate chips? How do you do s'mores with chocolate chips? So here's how we did the s'mores, because we were going to talk about the s'mores. My plan was to show Emily. We just did, and I'll post this sometime soon, that skillet s'mores, where it's like a s'mores dip, and we loved it. And I was like, I have got to show Emily how to do this. And so it takes a cast iron skillet and a little bit of dairy-free butter and your Enjoy Life chocolate chips or whatever allergy-friendly chocolate chips, and you put the skillet in the oven and you heat it up and you pull it out and you put the butter in, or you put the butter in, you heat it up, you pull it out, then you add the chocolate chips with the marshmallows on top, and then you let it go in the oven. So when we got there, I had all the ingredients with me. I brought the chocolate chips in the little soft cooler that fit into the food bag, and asked Emily if she had a cast iron, and I kind of looked at them and I was like, I don't know. So here's like the old Jamie, like the responsible allergy mom Jamie, like not so sure if we want to use these cast iron skillets. They're old. I don't know what's been in them. Probably, I don't know. So I'm not going to take my chances. And we ended up doing microwave s'mores. When we do microwave s'mores, it's the same as we do toaster oven s'mores. We put our graham crackers open, or the cookies, 1 each. We put the chocolate chips on one. We put the marshmallow on the other. We put it in the microwave for 20 to 30 seconds. They come out. Chocolate chips are melted. Marshmallows melted, smashed them together, kids are happy, and we did not end up doing the skillet thing. So Emily, if you come to my house next, we will do skillet s'mores. That is like a s'mores dip, and I learned that from Samantha here inside of the group. So if you want to know, she has a beautiful picture that she posted on Instagram. I was like, we are so doing that. So skillet, you guys, s'mores are sort of our thing. So it was either me do this video while Miles is in choir, or go home and Graham cook for you, which we're going to do soon. He wants to do another s'more recipe, and I was like, Graham, we already did a s'more recipe, but we have so many. We have pan s'mores that use Golden Graham cereal. We have Oreo s'mores that use Oreos. We have microwave toaster oven s'mores. We have your regular campfire s'mores. And now we have s'mores dip in the cast iron in the oven. So I don't know, have we gone too far when it comes to s'mores? Because I love the chocolate. The kids love the marshmallows. We found the delicious Dandy's marshmallows that are really, really good. And even if you don't like marshmallows, you will love them. So I don't know. It's just the perfect dessert. So I hope that answered your question. Did you melt the chocolate chips? How do you do s'mores with chocolate chips? That's okay. I get what you're saying, because you maybe would think like get an Enjoy Life candy bar is probably what you're thinking, because that's how we usually make s'mores, with candy bars, right? So yeah, we make them with chocolate chips because it's more economical. So you buy this bag of Enjoy Life if you get them on Amazon when you're in the deal group with us. If you don't know, at Milk Allergy Mom, one of our biggest goals is to figure out when Enjoy Life chocolate chips are cheap on Amazon, and we let the whole world know. But we started, if you go here in the group and you go to the chats tab, there's two different things that you can get notifications for in Facebook Messenger. One is when I'm going to go live, so that you can hop on live, and the other one is when there are deals that we have to know about ASAP. And I do post them here in the group, but at some point somebody was like, I need to know faster, like I need to know this ASAP. And so I kind of asked, like, well, do you want emails? Do you want Facebook Messenger? And you guys were like, Facebook Messenger. So if you go to the chats tab here inside of the group, you can get on that Messenger group. And when we see Enjoy Life chocolate chips for like under $3 a bag, you're the first one to know. So yeah, that's how we do s'mores with them. Like, just set them on the cookie and melt them, or set them on the graham cracker and melt them. And they work really well for the skillet too, because that recipe actually calls for them to be chips, because they'll melt really, really well. But we actually used the mini ones and it was no problem. So super fun. There is no too far with s'mores. I agree. I think s'mores are excellent. It's like fall food, summer food, like everybody like thinks it's that season of food, but it's every season basically. Anything else about the train? Miles is dosing. Want to tell you guys, so he's doing a YT. This was really scary for me. We had to dose his milk, 8 milliliters while he has to do it every night with dinner. We almost forgot we were eating dinner and he was full. He had 3 plates of this hot dog meal, was full, and I was like, Miles, you were supposed to dose. That was the other thing in our soft cooler, was his dose. We had to take a cooler for getting his milk there. So he takes his dose of regular organic whole milk, 8 milliliters inside of Ripple pea protein milk. He loves it that way, and it's great for making sure he doesn't get canker sores. So Ripple has the individual milks that have an actual cap. So if we buy Silk individuals, you have to pull off the foil and then it's open. But with the Ripple ones, which are kind of expensive, but I'm like, we're actually paying for probably that cap. So I was able to open up an individual, undo the cap, put his dose into it, seal it back up, put it in our cooler, and take it to St. Louis for him to dose that night. I was nervous. He's taken that dose for like 2 or 3 weeks, so it's been really good, but I just thought, we're in a new place. Even if he's like nervous or something, we might see him have some symptoms. So I did have that Kavita with us when he gets a little weird feeling in his throat with dosing every once in a while. The Kavita always helps. I love how I have like a 2-tone face. It's so pretty. Yeah, I was supposed to go like this. So he took his dose and everything went well, but that's how we transported. I wanted it measured out. I did not want to take a whole gallon, a half gallon of whole milk and take a whole half gallon of Ripple milk. So we had it dosed out and ready to go in just an individual single Ripple milk. The other meals that we ate, so Emily grilled for us the first night. The next morning, I also packed my kids' quickest breakfast that's halfway filling. They love the instant oatmeal packs from Quaker Oats that are brown sugar. So those, if you check the labels, we recently discovered are dairy-free. Just a couple flavors, apple cinnamon, I think, and maple, and Jeff found those recently, and I was going to post about them eventually as a food find, but we always made oats from scratch, and so this is a big treat for us 11, 12 years in that we have an instant oatmeal. So I just literally packed, I took the box because I kind of like didn't want to leave the ingredients at home. He had eaten out of that box, but I just packed the box, and they had instant oatmeal and fruit for breakfast. For lunch, we went to Chick-fil-A. We knew we would be in the city. Because of OIT and us being able to eat out now a little bit, I was like, Chick-fil-A is kind of one of our safest go-tos. If you don't mind, if we can find a Chick-fil-A, that would be great. I just was not in the mood to pack a lunch. We've done it so long and so many times with traveling with food allergies, and I was like, I'm just going to take advantage that we can eat out somewhere. So as Emily's kids put it, what is it called, Emily? I can't remember. Her kids have a really cute word for eating out lunch. Forgot what the word is. She'll have to tell us, but it's super cute. Were you gone just one night? Yes, just one night, literally like 24 hours. So we hopped on the train after lunch. So a 12:50 train out of Springfield. She put us on the 3 o'clock train back to Springfield, and we got home at 5 for Jeff to pick us up after work. So that timing worked out really, really well. And we went to the St. Louis Zoo the next day. So that was our big excursion, was taking the kids to the zoo. I also posted that the St. Louis Zoo looks like they're allergy friendly, but we did not try it. I was like, I'm not gonna try this. We've got the Chick-fil-A down. I'll do the Chick-fil-A, but we are not gonna eat at the zoo, even though it says it's allergy friendly. You can get in, buddy. So if you guys have any more questions, Miles is done with choir, and so I'm gonna get out of here. But if you have any other questions, let me know. If you learned any tidbit, anything that could bring you some extra food allergy freedom or help or encouragement, let me know. The one thing that you learned today from this video that was helpful to you, was it about making s'mores with chocolate chips? Was it about how trains work? Was it about dosing for OIT? Like, I think there were some little nuggets in here, and I hope that you caught one or two that was helpful. The epi bags, all that stuff. City Museum. Rachel, my kids love City Museum, cannot wait to go back. Unfortunately, it is not the right place for Emily's littles because we would so lose them fast. But my kids want to go there with me and Jeff again because the City Museum is pretty darn cool. Botanical Garden, we're thinking about that, where the kids can run around. Science Museum, Science Center might work for teens and toddlers, preschoolers. They're both preschoolers. We'd even be game. My kids loved helping with little kids, so we would even be game for taking Emily's littles back to going to the Magic House for the little kids things. The bell's really ringing. Miles, did you have fun on the train? Can you tell them real quick?
Yeah, it was fun.
They can't see you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Was it a good adventure?
Yeah, it was a lot different than I thought it'd be. Well, kind of different. It was sort of like a plane. Kind of like the seats were like a plane, but it was weird how you didn't have seat belts.
So you're talking about riding the train for the first time?
Yeah.
I told him you liked not wearing seat belts. So anything about taking that trip with food allergies? I'm totally putting you on the spot, but were you nervous to eat? Or did you...
No.
Did you like taking your dose? Did you taking your dose or anything like that at Emily's?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't really worried about that because I had Kavita, so...
You did like having the Kavitas there.
So
okay.
I did get a funny throat, then I can just drink the Kavita.
All right. I did give that tip to one of our OIT moms today that just started OIT. I said, if you can just have something that makes them feel a little bit better to eat if they get a funny throat, Like, you really like having that around, don't you? So that helped bring in that on our special trip. That's cool. Thanks for that, buddy. I wouldn't have guessed that. So hope that helps you guys. Let us know if you learned something new tonight. And it was fun doing this video. We haven't done just a life talk for a while, so I thought it would be a fun time to do that. So let us know if you liked it. Let us know if you learned something. And s'mores with chocolate chips, I need to look into marshmallows. So those Dandy's marshmallows, if you can have them, are delicious. They definitely taste like, I say these taste like real marshmallows. I don't know what a real marshmallow tastes like, but it doesn't taste like a corn syrup marshmallow. It's really, really good ingredients. So, all right, we're the last ones to leave choir. We will head out. Can you say bye?
Bye.
See you guys later.